Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. It's called the Hip-adellic flow. It's a Vinyasa flow class. It's actually my second time recording this class because the first time I recorded it this morning, it didn't save properly on my phone. So this is the second time and it's a pretty tough class. So may the good vibes be ever in my favor for the next 60 minutes. Before we started moving today, I wanted to talk about avoiding and resisting things. And often when we avoid things and push them away or resist them, it can cause a feeling of inner tension. And in yoga, this is known as dvesha. And dvesha is the act of avoiding something or pushing it away or running away from it. And if we're habitually doing this over and over again, always avoiding, pushing, and resisting, it can cause suffering. And it can cause this inner tension where we just always feel like, just icky. And one way we can begin to resolve this or unravel this suffering known as dvesha is through acceptance. And ultimately, this leads to softening, a softness. And so, for example, I was feeling some uncomfortable emotions yesterday, like fear or fear and sadness of what was just going on. And part of me was like, oh, I want to avoid this. So I started watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And if you haven't watched that before, it's a really great show. It's about all these men competing to become the next best drag race queen. And so I was like, oh, I just want to watch this, and I want to avoid the feelings of sadness or fear. And I just want to zone out and listen to the show. And I had a lot of fun. It was great watching the show. But afterwards, I had this meditation, and it was just really nice to sit down and allow myself to accept the feelings of sadness and fear and sit with them rather than pushing them away or resisting them. And ultimately, it led to this feeling of softening. You know, I didn't realize how much tension I had internally because I was pushing away so much. And when I just allowed myself to feel it and accept it and see it for what it was, I actually felt a lot more soft and relaxed and calm and peaceful. So one thing I like to ask myself over and over again is, can I allow myself to soften? Can I allow myself to soften? And especially these days, I feel like I'm holding tension for so many different reasons. And just this continuous reminder of, can I allow myself to soften, allows for, literally physically my body to relax and release. Let's start. Oh, and today we're working on our hips, if you didn't clue in from the title of the class. So we're going to be working on our hips and the whole 360 degrees of the hip capsule. So we'll be working on the front component of the hip, the front component, our hip flexors, the side component, mostly our hip abductors, but also internal rotators. And then our posterior component, which are our hip extensors, and then our interior hip compartment, which are our adductors. So we'll be working the whole 360-degree range of the hip capsule. Fun. Let's come to a comfortable seat on your mat. And once you've found a comfortable seat, please sit tall. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body. A full breath out. And can you observe in this moment, is there anything you're trying to fight, resist, push away, avoid? And in this moment, can you allow yourself to soften? True strength allows for softness. If we're always tense, then we can snap. Thus, true strength allows for us to be malleable, soft. And the softness can dissolve tension. Please bring your hands together in front of your chest, palms touching. Take one more deep inhale. And a full exhale. And please blink your eyes open. Come onto your hands and knees. Hands are underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. Inhale, look forward, tilt your sit bones up, open your chest to the front. And exhale, push your hands and knees down, round through your back, gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, look forward, tilt the sit bones up, open your chest to the front. And exhale, push through the hands and knees, round through the back. Last time, inhale, look forward, tilt the sit bones up, let your chest come through the arms. And exhale, push the hands and knees down, round through the back, gaze towards the belly button. Inhale, come to neutral, step back, plank pose. Shoulders are right over your wrists. Try to get your pelvis so it's level with your shoulders, and the back of your head so it's level with your shoulders. Take a steady breath into your body. Steady breath out. And right away, can you notice or observe if you're resisting or trying to avoid the intensity of the pose? And can you instead just almost mentally soften into it, accept it? Okay, take one more deep inhale. Then come all the way to your belly, right down to the ground. Take your hands right back behind you, beside your hips. Lift your chest off the ground, lift your legs off the ground. And then I'd like you to roll your inner thighs up towards the sky. So another movement that our hip can do is rotation. So can you focus on internal rotation here, which means the inner seam of your yoga tights or shorts turns up towards the sky and the outer hips roll down. And then can you broaden the backs of the knees and maybe lift your legs a little higher. Press your pubic bone down and maybe lift your chest and your arms up. And take 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. 2, deep breath in. Steady breath out. And 1 last full inhale. And exhale, release. Push back to child's pose. Take a steady breath into your body. And a steady breath out. And please come forward to all fours. And press back to downward facing dog. Bend your right knee and let your left heel drop heavy. Take a full inhale. And a steady exhale. Switch sides. Bend your left knee. Let your right heel drop heavy. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. And straighten both legs. Full downward facing dog pose. Can you push the hands strongly forward and down into the ground? Drive the tops of your thighs, so your hips right back and up. Draw the front lower ribs in. Press all 10 toes into the ground. And then even in the face of all this strength of pushing the hands down, keeping the tops of the thighs high, the lower ribs pulling in, even in that strength, can you find a little bit of softness? The eyes are focused on one place. An acceptance of the pose for what it is. 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. Push firmly through the inner hands. And 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. Just bend your knees, look forward, walk, walk, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Lengthen the center of the chest forward. Exhale, fold over your legs, let your head release. And inhale, reach both hands all the way up towards the sky, reach tall. And exhale, hands to your chest. Keep that rhythm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, get really long through the torso. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your chest. One more time, listen to your breath. Inhale, allows the arms to sweep up. Exhale, allows you to hinge at your hips and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, get long through the torso. And exhale, fold over your legs. And inhale, reach both hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands to your chest. And take your hands to your hips, step your feet together, bend your knees, place your hands down on the ground, or if you have two blocks, put your hand on top of each block. Place your hands so they're directly under your shoulders and lift halfway up with your spine. So your spine is elongating forward like a halfway lift. And if you don't have blocks, you can put your fingertips on the floor, tented like big huntsman spiders. Otherwise, your hands are on your blocks, probably on their highest height. I want you to try to get your torso as parallel-ish to the floor as you can. Have your feet together. Your hands are underneath your shoulders so that spine is encouraged to lengthen forward, not round. And then take your right leg back and up. Point your right toes and vigorously straighten your right leg. Can keep both hips facing down. So that right hip turns down and the inner right thigh turns up. Again, finding that same internal rotation of the right leg that we're doing on our bellies in Savasana. You can reach to the center of the chest forward, straighten your right leg a little bit more. Now bend your right knee. Can you lift your right knee a little higher? So now we're in hip extension. So we're working the back side of the hip, the glutes. Well, specifically like glute max. Can you keep pressing that right thigh up, finding a bit more hip extension? And then exhale, pull your right knee towards your right nipple. It's towards your right pec. So now we're taking that right leg into hip flexion. So we're working the front of the right hip now. Take your right knee out towards the right hand side. And now we're working the abductors. So the outside of the hip is being worked. Can you lift the right leg a little higher? Almost like you're a dog peeing on something. So can you get that right thigh almost parallel to the ground? You can check it out. Notice if you're compensating in your left hip. Keep a little bend in your left knee. Send your left hip back. Lift your right leg a little higher. Good. Now take that right knee right back behind you again. Thighs parallel to the floor. Can you lift it a little higher to get hip extension in your right hip? Lift your right knee high. Keep it straight back behind you. Good. Now exhale, pull the knee towards the nipple again. Open it out towards the side like your dog peeing on something. Take the knee straight back behind you. And then exhale, pull it in towards your right nipple. One more time. Inhale, open out to the side, abduction, the outer hip. Take it all the way back. And exhale, pull it towards your right nipple. Good, and now we'll reverse it. Inhale, the knee goes back. Exhale, then it opens and comes towards the side. And then it comes all the way forward towards the right nipple. And then it goes all the way back. And then open the hips. Bring the right knee far out towards the right. Bring it all the way forward to your right nipple. And then all the way back. One more time, open the hips, find a bit of external rotation and abduction. And then bring the right knee all the way towards your right nipple. Then bring the knee all the way back. Now straighten your right leg. Try to get that leg parallel to the floor. Maybe a little higher even, chest forward. Take one more breath in. And then step your right foot beside your left foot. And it's totally fine in this class to get a few cramps in your hips or even in your feet. Lots of us are quite weak there, so cramping is normal. And it's just a way of your body saying like, oh, I'm not used to this, which is a good sign. It means that it's an area for you to get stronger in. Lift your left leg up. Keep both hips facing down. If you do get a cramp, just come out of the pose, give your body a little shake, and then come back in. Straighten your left leg, point your left toes. Can you keep both hips facing down? Keep your spine long. So notice if you're beginning to round your back, try to keep a nice elongated spine. Bend your left knee. Try to lift your left knee higher, coming into hip extension. So you're working the back side, your booty, or as they say in RuPaul's, your cuckoo. Can you get your left knee a little higher, firming the left glutes? Exhale, pull the left knee towards your left pec, your left nipple. As you pull it forward, can you keep your spine long? So try not to round through the back. Take your left knee out towards the side, like you're a dog peeing on something. Can you get your left knee a little bit higher? Like, yeah, you've got a big pee that you've got to do, so you've got to lift that knee nice and high so it doesn't get in the trajectory of your pee. Lift the left knee up. Good, and now take the knee all the way back. And exhale, bring the left knee towards your left pec. Inhale, open it out towards the side, like you're peeing on something. Keep a tiny bend in your right knee. Keep sending your right hip back. Good, now send the left knee back. One more time, left knee towards the left pec. Inhale, open it to the side. Exhale, goes all the way back. And comes in towards the left pec. Good, now we'll reverse it. Left knee goes back first. Then it opens towards the side, externally rotates and abducts. Then comes all the way towards the left pec. And then you take it all the way back. Twice more. Open the hips, bring your left knee to the left, and then forward to your left pec. And then take it all the way back. Last time, open your hips, bring the left knee all the way forward to your left pec. Turn both hips so they're facing down. And then take the left leg straight back. Straighten the leg, lift the leg, keep both hips facing down, chest is forward. Take one more inhale, and then step your left foot forward. Well done. Put your blocks to the side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, both hands all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, reach both hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Take a full breath in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Take a steady breath in and downward dog. Steady breath out. Press evenly and firmly through both hands. Stay grounded through the inner hands. Roll the outer shoulders back. Turn the inner biceps forward. Drive the tops of your thighs back and up. Take 2 more breaths. One last deep Ujjayi breath in. Exhale all your air. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to chest. Keep that rhythm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog pose. Steady breath into your body. Steady breath out. As you push the hands forward and down, can you roll the outer shoulders back? And just notice where your head is in space. Can you keep it right between your biceps? Take one more full inhale. Full exhale. And please come forward to plank pose. So come right into plank. Bring your right knee across towards your left elbow. So right knee across towards your left elbow. So now we're going to work the adductors, the inner compartment of our hip. Turn your left heel down flat and reach your left hand up to the sky. So you're coming into a side plank variation. And lift your right knee up. So you're squeezing your inner thighs towards each other. Try to lift your pelvis higher from the floor. So the adductors, the inner thigh of your left leg is working, and the inner thigh of your right leg is working because you're trying to lift your legs away from the ground. Option to straighten your right leg straight out and hold for 3. That's if you want it harder. 2, push the right hand down, lift your pelvis. And 1, both hands to the ground. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog pose, exhale. Come forward to plank pose, inhale. Left knee towards your right elbow. Option to stay here or turn your right heel flat, right hand to the sky. So coming right into the other side. Can you squeeze your inner thighs away from the ground? Lift the pelvis. So now we're working the inner compartment of the hip. Option to straighten the left leg if you'd like more of a challenge. Hold for 3. Can you breathe? Keep lifting the pelvis. Hold for 2. And 1. Plank pose. Take a full breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog or cobra pose. Downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Take a steady breath into your body. And a steady breath out. Please walk your hands back towards your feet. Take your middle and index fingers around your big toes. Inhale, reach the center of your chest forward. And exhale, bend your elbows out to either side, fold over your legs, let your head release. Can you take a deep, steady breath in? And on your exhale, on each exhale, can you allow yourself to soften into the pose a little more? 4 more breaths. Three. 2. And 1 last breath. And slowly release your feet. Walk your hands forward. Come back to downward facing dog pose. Step your feet together and come onto your tippy toes. So it's like you're wearing stilettos. Get your heels nice and high. Keep your hips high. Option to stay here or bend your knees. Try 6 handstand hops. Maybe you got stuck in a handstand. 5 more breaths or 5 more hops. 4. 3. Keep your breath steady. Keep pushing the floor away. 2. Good. And 1 last breath in. Good. And then come all the way down. Halfway lift on your inhale. And fold forward, exhale. And please step your left foot far back. Spin the back heel flat. Come up right into warrior 2 pose. Put your hands on your hips. Bend into your front knee deeply. Touch your right butt and just see if it's nice and firm. And if it's not, try to straighten your right leg. Try to pick up your right hip a bit more and then see if you can squeeze that right butt. So we're working the posterior side of the butt because the glute max on the back side helps with the external rotation of the leg. Re-bend into the front knee. See if you can keep that work. Keep picking the front hip up. Spread your arms nice and wide. Bend into that front knee. Look just off the tip of your right middle finger. Can you find the depth in the legs? But then find this lifting up and this length through the torso so that you're not collapsing into your right hip crease. There's this lifting up out of the hips towards the sky. Steady, slow, smooth breath in. And a steady, slow, smooth breath out. 3 more breaths here. Can you keep spreading those arms nice and wide? Can you let the left shoulder, left arm come behind you as you look straight forward? 2 more breaths. Good. One last deep inhale. Full exhale. Can you stay this low? Reverse warrior two. Take a full breath in, reach back. And then exhale, take your arms back parallel to the ground, straighten your front leg. Turn your back foot in a little. Reach far forward, keeping your right leg straight. Take your right hand down to ground or block. Left hand up towards the sky for a triangle pose, Trikonasana. Take a steady breath into your body. And a steady breath out. Can you push down through both feet simultaneously and turn your chest up towards the sky? Let the shoulders glide down the back. Can you elongate your spine a little more forward? 3 more breaths. 2. Where in your body can you soften? 1 last deep inhale. And then exhale, left hand to your left hip. Look down, bend into your right knee, shift forward, Ardha Chandrasana. Lift the left leg up. Push that left heel back and up. Push your right hand down, turn the chest up. Reach the left hand up towards the sky. As you turn the chest up towards the sky, can you lift the left leg a little higher? Steady your breath, deep breath in. Steady breath out. 3 more breaths. So now we're working the lateral, the outer edge of the left hip. As you lift that left leg higher, the abductors, the outer hip muscles, will turn on a little bit more. Can you take 1 more full inhale? And exhale, both hands down towards the ground. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Come right into warrior two on the other side. Being efficient with our time, bend into your front knee and lift the hips, spread your arms wide, and then just look off the tip of your left middle finger. You keep that right arm back, bend into your left knee, lower ribs pull in, steady breath into your body, steady breath out. You relax your jaw, deep breath in, steady breath out. Maybe even cop a feel of your left butt. Is it strong and engaged? If you're finding it difficult to engage, straighten the left leg. Lift your left hip up, squeeze the glutes, re-bend into the knee. Good. 4 more breaths. 3. Notice if you're trying to resist or avoid the work of the pose. It's a human tendency to always generally want to take the path of least resistance. So instead of avoiding the path of fire and strength, can you accept it? Soften into it. 2 more breaths. Well done. 1 more breath in. Keep the bend in the front knee. Keep your left butt squeezing. Reach back, reverse warrior two. Take a full breath into your body. Exhale, arms parallel to the ground. Straighten your front leg. Heel toe the back foot in a little. Reach far forward with the left hand and take your left hand down to shin, ankle, block, or floor. Triangle pose. Reach that right hand up towards the sky. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Let the shoulder blades glide down the back. If you can, try to look up towards your right thumb. If it's too much, just turn your head to look down. Push through both feet. 4 more breaths. Can you get a little more length on the left side of the torso, a little more shortness on the right? 3. 2. And 1 last breath in. Right hand to right hip, look down, shift forward, half moon pose. The right leg lifts up. Left hand is on the floor or on a block. Push the left hand down into the ground to turn the chest up. Straighten the right leg, push the heel back. Turn the chest, maybe reach the right arm up to the sky, maybe turn the chest to look up, reach up. Can you take 5 more breaths? Deep inhale. Steady exhale. Let the right abductors work by lifting the right leg. 3. 2. Can you get your chest open a little bit more? One last breath in. Exhale, both hands come to the ground. Good job. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot back. Warrior 2 pose. Going right into it. Reverse warrior 2, reach back. Good. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, Trikonasana. Left hand to left hip, look down, shift forward. Ardha Chandrasana, lift the left leg up. Reach the left hand up. Good, now we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'd like you to bend your left knee and bring your left heel towards your butt. Pause. Good, now this is a little different, so just listen carefully. You're still in half moon pose, but your left knee is bent. Try to bring your left knee forward towards your left pec. So your left knee comes forward towards your left pec. And then hold for 3. So your left hip is now in hip flexion and it's still in abduction. 2, and if you're like me, my right hip and my standing foot have to work much harder. 1, can you get your left leg a little higher? Bring your left knee a little more forward to your left nipple. Good, and now take your left hand around your left foot and then begin to kick the left foot back, coming into Chapasana, bound half moon pose. And if that's not available for you, then just come back to half moon pose. Hold for 2 more breaths, keep turning the chest open. Breathe, kick the foot back. So now you're taking that left hip into extension. 1 last breath in. Come back to half moon pose. Take a full breath in. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Step your left foot forward. Whew. Step your right foot back. If you're like me, I got a nice cramp in my right foot. It was amazing. Warrior 2 pose. It's all about perspective, right? Reverse warrior 2. Take a full breath in. Back to warrior 2 pose. Straighten your front leg. Reach far forward, Trikonasana. Take a steady breath in Triko. Exhale, right hand to right hip, look down. Bend into your left knee, shift forward, half moon pose. Actively push the right heel back and up. Turn the chest open. Reach the right hand up to the sky. Good, now can you get your right leg higher and bend your right knee. And now try to bring your right knee towards your right pec, your right nipple. So now the knee is in hip flexion and abduction, which is a fun place to be, especially for the standing leg. Can you lift your right knee a little higher? Keep the chest turning open. Keep the heel close towards the butt. Take 1 more breath in. Full breath out. If you can, try to grab your right foot or your ankle and then begin to kick the foot back for Chapasana. And if that doesn't work for you, then just come back to half moon pose. I know it's a long hold. If you're like me, I got little crampies in my feetsies, but it's good because my feet will eventually get stronger. Take 2 more breaths. Kick the foot back, open the chest. If it's too much, you can always come out. 1 more breath. Back to half moon pose. Full inhale, lift everything. Right hand comes down. Left foot steps back. Well done. Drop your left knee to the ground. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your chest. Inhale, lean your torso forward. And exhale, twist towards the right. Bring your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Palms come together. Push the hands together to broaden across the chest. Option to stay here or tuck the back toes and lift that back knee up off the ground. Bend into the front knee. Keep pressing the left thigh up. Turn your chest open to the right. Can you take 3 more breaths? So don't forget about that back leg. Keep pressing that left thigh up so that back leg is working towards hip extension. 2 more breaths. Okay, 1 last deep inhale. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Well done. Drop your back knee to the floor. Inhale, both hands up towards the sky. Exhale, here we go. Arrowhead, you've got this. Lift the back knee. Shift forward, lean forward, lift your back leg up off the ground. Put your hands on your hips. Turn both hips to face the floor. Straighten your left leg vigorously. Roll your inner left thigh to the sky. So there's a little bit of internal rotation happening in your left leg. Now lift it higher. Reach both hands straight back. So in that back leg, the left leg, we're working a bit of hip extension and internal rotation. Keep the chest lifting, which is good to balance all that hip flexion and external rotation that we just did. 2 more breaths. Can you lift the chest, lift the back leg, keep the internal rotation. 1 more full inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Drop your right knee to the ground. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, twist to the left. Elbow comes to the outside of the knee. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee up off the floor. Keep bending into your front knee. As you press the back thigh up, turn your chest open. 5 breaths. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. 4. 3. Don't forget about the back leg. So it's important that back thigh presses up. 2. 1 last breath. Well done. Both hands come to the ground. Drop the back knee to the floor. Inhale, both hands up. Arrowhead pose. Exhale, hands back. You can do it. Well, we're all in this together. Look forward, lean forward. Slowly lift that back leg up off the ground. Whew. If you're like me, my left butt is like, girl, I am on fire. Hands to your hips. Turn both hips down. Straighten your right leg. Point those right toes. Straighten your right knee vigorously. Now, roll the inner right thigh up. So there's a bit of internal rotation happening in the right leg. Now try to get your right leg higher. Come on, press it up. Both hands reach back, lift the chest, lift the back leg. Take 2 more breaths, breathe. Good, 1 more breath. Can you get that back leg up a bit more? Your chest a little higher. Good, exhale, step your right foot forward. Both hands are down. Step your left foot back. And inhale, reach both hands up. Vinyasa. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Drop your right knee to the ground. Inhale, Vinyasa. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Steady breath out. Come forward, plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog pose, full exhale. Step your feet together, bring them a little closer to your hands. Come onto your tippy toes, lift your heels high. Option to stay here. Stay for 5 full breaths. Look between your thumbs. Option 2, bend your knees, 5 hops, maybe handstand. Full breath in. Full breath out. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, good, and 1. Land your feet at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, and fold forward, exhale. Hands all the way up towards the sky. Deep breath in. And hands to your heart. Good. Well done, everyone. If you have a block, please put it in the middle of your mat. If you don't have a block, don't worry. I'll just do this without a block. If you do have a block, hopefully it's more firm. A firmer block is obviously easier to balance off. If you have one of those really cheap, squishy foam blocks, don't worry about it. It won't be firm enough to support you, so just do this on the ground. Don't use your squishy block. If you have a firm block, then step your left foot onto the firm cork or firm foam block. Left hand on your left hip. Lift your right knee up. Squeeze it in towards your chest. Okay, option 1, just stay here. Option 2, catch your right big toe with your right hand and lengthen the right leg forward. Okay, hold for 5. Can you keep your breath steady? 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your leg towards the right. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Job 1. Bring the leg back to center. Try to keep the foot where it is. Both hands up. Hold for 5, 4, 3. You got this. 2. It's tough, I know. 1. Release. Take the foot behind you. Try to stay on the left leg. Take the right foot behind you. Catch the inside of the foot with your right hand. Inhale. Left hand to your left hip. Begin to hinge your torso forward as you begin to kick the right foot back. So coming towards dancer's pose, the right foot kicks back, the torso hinges forward, lift the chest, maybe reach the left hand forward and hold for 5. Can you keep your breath steady? 4, 3, 2. Can you lift up a little higher? And 1. Good. Come all the way up. And exhale, release. Well done. Whew. If you're like me, I'm starting to schwitz. Oy vey. Here we go. Other side. Right hand on the right hip. Right foot is on the block if you're using a block. Left hand around your left knee, lift it up. Right. Stay focused with your eyeballs. Stay here or catch your left big toe. Inhale, leg forward and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open the leg towards the left and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Bring the leg forward, both hands up. Can you keep the foot where it is? Hold for 5. So now we're working those hip flexors. The front of the hip really has to work. 3, good job. 2, and 1. Take the foot back. Now we're taking the leg into extension. So reach back, grab the inside of your left foot. So now we're working the back side of the hip. As a result, the front side of the hip gets to release. Right hand on your right hip. Here we go, dancer's pose. Hinge the torso a little forward first. Then maybe begin to kick the left foot back and up a little bit higher. Maybe reach your right arm forward and up. Hold for 5. Can you keep your breath steady? 4, breathe. 3. You're almost there, stay focused. 2, arm up, leg up. 1 last deep breath in. Good, and come up and release. Well done. Put your block to the side. Step your feet together. We'll make it to the ground now. You're doing so good. Here we go. Let's finish it up. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to plank pose. Take a full breath in and plank. Exhale all the way to your belly. Right down to the ground. Hey, take your hands back beside your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. And lift your legs up off the ground. And can you find that internal rotation of the thighs? So the inner thighs wrap up. The backs of the knees straight. Option to stay here or bend both knees, reach back and grab onto the ankles or the tops of the feet for Dhanurasana, bow pose. So this is the symmetrical back bend. Dancer's pose is asymmetrical because you do one side at a time, and this is symmetrical because we get to do both sides evenly at the same time. Slowly, if it feels okay in your body, lift the thighs up, lift the chest up, push the feet up. Maybe begin to kick the feet back. Hold for 5. The thighs lift, the chest lifts, and then maybe the feet push back. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. Here we go. 1 more breath in. Lift the chest up, lift the legs up, press the feet back, and then exhale, release. Hands to the ground, push back. To child's pose. Send your bum towards your heels. You take a steady breath in and a steady breath out. Well done. Please come to downward facing dog. Take a steady breath into your body and a steady breath out. Can you allow your breath to invite a little bit of softness? Please bring your right knee towards your right wrist. Lengthen your left leg back, coming towards an active pigeon. Walk your hands back. Push your legs down into the ground to lift your pelvis away from the floor. And as you lift your pelvis away from the ground, maybe reach both hands up towards the sky. So it's a bit more of an active pigeon. If it's too much to reach your hands up, just keep your hands on the floor. If it's too much on your lower back, keep your hands more forward and pull the belly in. Wherever you are, can you take 1 more breath? And exhale, both hands come to the ground if they're not already. Walk your hands forward. Maybe take your forehead to your fists, to your palms, or forehead to the ground. And if you'd like to, this is optional. Option to take your left arm, thread it under your right arm, and then take your left cheek down to the ground. And wherever you are, can you just allow yourself to totally soften? Letting yourself be a bit more passive. Allowing yourself to relax, release. 3 more deep breaths. 2, can you really let yourself take a deep breath in? And maybe even side out. 1 more deep breath in. And out. And slowly push yourself back up. We'll switch sides, so please come back to downward dog pose. Bring your left knee towards your left wrist. Lengthen your right leg back. We'll start with a proud, active pigeon first. So come onto your fingertips. If your lower back's a little more sensitive, just stay more forward. Otherwise, walk your hands back. Push the leg bones down to lift the chest. Maybe reach both hands up to the sky. And you take 2 steady breaths here. And 1 more deep breath in. Push the leg bones down to lift the pelvis up. It's more active. And hands come to the ground if they're not already. Walk your hands forward. Option to stack your forehead on your fists or your hands, or forehead right to the ground. If you'd like to, you can thread the needle with the arms. Right arm threads underneath your left arm. Right cheek comes to the ground as a result. Then can you let yourself totally relax? Let your whole body soften. Take 3 more steady, slow breaths. Slowly push yourself back up and sit onto your bum. Bring both legs out in front of you. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees open wide. Interlace your hands around your toes. Inhale, sit tall. And exhale, fold over your legs. Baddha Konasana, let your head release. Can you allow your whole head, your jaw, everything to relax? Another 3 breaths here. And with each exhale, can you allow yourself to soften a little more? Inhale, slowly come up. And please take both legs right out in front of you. Inhale, reach both hands up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward over both legs. Can you allow your body to melt into the pose? Slowly come all the way up. Please lie down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your knees fall to the right, coming into a supine twist. Left arm to the left. Look to the left. Slowly bring your legs back to center. Let your legs fall over towards the left as you turn your head to look to the right. Can you allow your whole body to soften? Bring your legs back to center. Straighten your legs along the ground for Savasana, corpse pose. Please ensure your pelvis is more or less centered in your mat. Hands come down beside your hips, palms face the ceiling. Let your eyes softly close. Can you let the muscles in your face soften? Can your jaw soften? Can your hands and feet soften? So that there's this softness that permeates your entire body. If you'd like to stay here a little longer, please feel free to. Otherwise, take a deep breath in and out. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your arms overhead, give your body a big stretch. Bend your knees. Roll onto your right hand side. Gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Please bring your hands together in front of your chest, palms touching. As you flow through the rest of your evening or your day, whatever time it is, wherever you are, can you maybe ask yourself the question, can I allow myself to soften? Namaste.